Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are here with Som do Brasil. This is a third Zoom, and our guest tonight is Vanderlei Pereira, the drummer and a composer and arranger. He has a brand new album, Vanderlei Pereira, Blindfold Test. And the Vision for Rhythm is the title of the album, On Jazz Heads. Vanderlei, bem-vindo. Welcome to Som do Brasil.
Obrigado, Jassvan. É um prazer estar de volta aqui com você no Som do Brasil. É um dos shows que a gente acompanha sempre e é um prazer imenso. Obrigado por me dar a honra de poder estar no seu show.
E a gente sempre, we are together with Augusto Ghiotto.
Estamos aí. A gente já se conheceu.
Olá, Augusto.
Tá bom?
Já estou sabendo, né?
We are friends from longa data.
Obrigado por me receber.
Vanderlei, so let's start with this beautiful new album that you just released. No, it's going to be released, right? Officially.
Officially agora na quinta-feira, né?
All right.
On May 22nd. I'm sorry, I was talking in Portuguese. But now I'm back in English.
Okay, let's talk about the project, the blindfold test. I think I saw you many times. You were playing with this group around New York, around the US, right? With the blindfold test.
That's correct. We did plenty of gigs in Zinc Bar and Fat Cat in some other venues, and a little bit of touring in upstate New York. Yeah, that's my band. It's a 6-piece band, instrumental, with a front line with a horn player or flute, and a wordless vocal by Susan Pereira and Jorge Continentino that plays tenor and flute, Diana Witkowski on the piano, Paul Myers on the guitar, acoustic guitar, Gustavo Amarante on electric bass, e Taiguara Brandão e Rodrigo Ursaia Rodrigo tocando tenor.
You did all the arrangements on this. This is your first album, besides that?
Is
as a solo?
Of the band, of the Blindfold band. Yes, I did all the arrangements on a CD.
And you have also many compositions on the album, your own compositions.
Yes, 4 compositions out of 12. I wrote them. And now the other composition is just tunes that I like, tunes of a friend, some with some of people that I work with. So I just base the arrangements on a composition that I like, that I have a strong connections, rhythm-wise or melody or harmonic, and where I could use those songs so I can, use my ideas and arranger.
So most of the musicians in this album are the people who are together playing with you through the years with the blindfold test?
That's correct. The band came first, the CD came later. We did so many gigs, we rehearsed, and when it was time to do a recording, the band was already ready to go. So the musician is some fellow friends in New York, was really pushing me to go to the studio, saying how much they liked the band, and then on the first opportunity I got to take the band to the studio, I got it. As a result of this album, that I feel very happy the way it came out, and although it's a studio recording, but it captures the live performance.
The first track on the album, Misturada, Mixing.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of your heroes and my hero too, because I remember was one of the first shows that I saw 1971 probably with a Chicory and Return to Forever. I saw them live in Boston at the Jazz Workshop with
Wow.
Flora Purim and Ayrton Moreira. So Ayrton Moreira is one of your inspiration, right? One of
Ah, yeah.
yours inspiration. Okay. Let's
Yeah.
talk about Misturada.
Misturada, I heard that song Misturada on an old record. It's called Quarteto Novo. It was a quartet album with Ayrton Moreira, Hermeto Pascoal, Theo de Barros playing guitar and acoustic bass, and also Heraldo Dumont. Back then, I think 1970s or 69, I heard this tune Misturada. I thought, wow, that's amazing tune. I never heard anything like that. And then the first idea, oh man, if one day I have a band or have a CD, I want to do that album. I was so inspired. And so here it is. Back then I had no idea that I would come across to meet Ayrton in person in Florida. They has invited me and Susan to play with them at the Village Gate. And then we developed this friendship. And and then I start playing Misturado in my band, a few gigs, and then developed the arrangement, playing, and here it is. It's the opener of the CD.
So let's play Misturada for you people on the other side so you have a taste of this beautiful new album by Vanderlei Pereira and Blindfold Test, Visions for Rhythm on Jazz Heads. We are back, and we are Som do Brasil on WKCR FM New York, 89.9 on the dial New York City. You can listen to us all over the world on www.wkcr.org. Augusto Ghiotto.
Jassvan DeLima. We talk about Ayrton Moreira, but he also had other influences that you include in the album, say Edu Lobo or Antônio Adolfo, who you also recorded a couple of tracks from them. Can you talk about those two tracks?
Yes, yes, those are the tunes that I've been playing with the band, the Corrupião by Edu Lobo. It's a tune that I like very much. Edu has an album, entitled Corrupião, and I start playing that song. Susan was playing that song, her band, and then and then she stopped playing the song, and she gave me permission to use this song with the band. And then I developed the arrangement because, I try to cover some other rhythms from Brazil, to the Northeast. So Corrupião is a tune where, it's a very nice tune. It's kind of in the style of forró, baião, and a little bit of coco. And the tune came really nice to the band. And then Jorge Continentino, he plays pífano, his solo on pífano. So it's a composition that I had a lot of fun playing, and the band also sounds really good. And we came up with this groove, this arrangement, and that you can listen to it on a CD.
What about Antônio Adolfo?
Antônio Adolfo, I've met him, I've played with him, and he gave me the CD, and then I've, listened to his CD. I found his version of Partido Leve, and I create my own arrangement, I create my own way to play, so it's kind of samba de partido alto, but I add my flavor in the groove, and I create an introduction with a bass and piano and guitar, and Jorge Continentino takes a nice solo there. So is the guitar player Paul Myers also take a nice solo there, and so that's the track number 7 on the CD.
So let's do in track number 7, Augusto. You can press the button.
Let's play both tracks, Antônio Adolfo and Edu Lobo, and I'll be right back with Som do Brasil, Vanderlei Pereira, our special guest, right here.
are back and we are talking with the great drummer Vanderlei Pereira in the release of his brand new album with the Bradford Test Visions for Rhythm. And Vanderlei, you know
Yeah,
that it's really funny when I was getting to your press release. You're talking about when you were a little kid, around 5 years old, make your own drums with the cans of goiabada. Remember that?
mm,
When you made your first drum when you were a kid. I used to do that too. A lot of kids in Brazil used to do that. We used to do that in a neighborhood. We had a little soccer field, you know, in front of the house.
mm,
And we used to go there at night and make drums with little cans, you know, like cans of beans and goiabada cans, you know, put
yeah,
them in and
yes.
make like drums.
Hmm. Yeah, I invented my own drum set when I was, when I was little. I was inspired by this other drummer in town that my brother, one of my brothers used to play with. He took me to the show and he told me that that man, he built his own drum set. Then
That's
I was inspired to play drum set by that guy. That guy, his name was Licinio. And then I went home and then I want to be him. Okay, I'm gonna build my own drum set as well. And then I went there and grab a wooden box that sound with a low pitch enough to be the kick drum. And then I got a little seat of a bicycle and put it there and put a little muffler, put a little rubber muffler on the wood and then hit it like uh, the wooden box. So that sound like a bass drum. And then there was a can of cookie can, like a square. In Brazil, biscoito do Shen.
I remember, yeah, man.
So that I put on top of there was some pipes around on a backyard. I put that with the perfect height. That was my snare drums. For the cymbal, was remember those old signs of Coca-Cola, that round
Yeah, I remember that.
white letter called Coca-Cola. So there was a little, bodega on the corner. That's every time I would pass by, it was almost falling. So one day nobody was looking. I really took it home with me. Luckily, the police didn't see me. And then I cut that round thing, that put a hole in the middle, and tied to on a wooden box with a handle of a little carriage. What's the name, Susan? When you carry babies on stroller, yeah. Over the stroller with a little curve. I cut that and put it there, put the cymbal there. So that it is a snare, kick drum, and a cymbal. With that, I learned how to play samba. I learned how to play a lot of rhythms. Back then, I was very inspired by the Fino da Bossa with Jair Rodrigues and Elis Regina. So that's what I did the entire day long. And then that was my coordination playing drum set from there.
So let's move from your hometown. That was Macaé. To people who doesn't know, Macaé is like how many miles? 100 miles from Rio, right?
I don't know.
100 kilometers, or I think it's 100 miles. Yeah, it's 100 miles because I used to live one time in my life on the way to Macaé and Saquarema.
Is
So Saquarema is like 50 miles, or it's half of the way. You know,
yeah,
it's from Macaé.
from Rio de Janeiro.
But from Macaé, you went to Rio very young, right? Because you coming from a family of musicians,
That's
a
correct.
musical family.
My two older brothers, they were musicians. One played saxophone. The oldest, excuse me, the older one is a tenor guy, and the two brothers, Dulcilando Pereira was his name. The other one is Giselle Pereira that plays guitar, bass, and I was inspired. So the music was around in the city. My father used to play violão tenor that's very used in choro. And all my sisters, they sang. So I came from a musical family, and I was listening to jazz around then and listening to them rehearsal. So I got inspired to be a musician early on in my life. And then I started reading music there on a music school on the town, Sociedade Musical Nova Aurora. And then there was a day that I was ready to leave the city, and I went to Rio. Remember, back then I still could see, I have my vision, I wore glasses, I could sight read music very well. And then I was ready to go to Rio, and I passed an internship to play with the Orquestra Sinfônica Brasileira, and I played some classical. But at the same time, I was playing in Rio de Janeiro, playing at nightclubs, doing gigs, playing popular music, playing gafieiras, playing, any music style, including rock, pop, and beyond.
That's great. So, and you play, besides playing with the classical, this was with the Rio Symphony?
Orquestra Sinfônica Brasileira. Back then, my vision was good enough to read music. And then, of course, I was start losing my vision and became blind. But I still kept my professional career in Rio de Janeiro.
Augusto Ghiotto.
Yeah.
So I wanted to know when you moved to New York.
And then I came to New York in 1988.
88, okay.
1988. I met Susan in Brazil. We got introduced to each other by Romero Lubambo. One of the guys that I played a lot in Brazil with Romero and Nilson. Nilson Mata was living in Rio too, so I played with those guys. And Romero introduced me to Susan. Susan went to Brazil because she is a percussionist. She was there to play samba, to see samba in Rio de Janeiro. And Romero gave her my number. We are met. We became really close friends. And the romance came later, after 1 year. And so my dream to come to New York, began back in the 60s from listening to American bands that fusion jazz with rock, bands such as Blood, Sweat, and Tears, and Kool and Gang, and Chicago Transit Authority, and James Brown, all of that, were my first wish to come to America. So by meeting Susan and Romero, that was the opportunity that I came to come here to check the city. And the rest, we played in Nova York a lot with a lot of different projects. And one thing led to another one, meeting a lot of musicians, and here's my CD.
Vanderlei, I was just looking here. You have a track number 4, Mercado Modelo, from the great Kimpson Plout, right?
Yes. Kimpson Plout, he was a dear friend of ours, and unfortunately he left us. Mercado Modelo, I played on Kimpson's original CD called Ubatuba. I played that song, but he was such a great musician and great composer. So I really like that tune, and then I decided to include his composition, have my own version on Vision for Rhythm of Mercado Modelo. It's a composition that fuses a lot of rhythms from the Northeast. There's a little bit of Calango, a little bit of Baião, a little bit of Coco, a little bit of Ijexá. It's everything. A lot of rhythm on a lot of different rhythm on that CD. Mercado Modelo by Kimpson Plout.
Let's listen on Som do Brasil, WKCR FM, New York.
And we are back, Som do Brasil, do QCR 89.9 FM New York. Vanderlei Pereira is our special guest tonight, and Jassvan DeLima is right here.
Oh, Vanderlei. It's amazing that I was researching a little bit about people with no vision, blind people who are drummers. And I was just seeing the whole biography of Joe Morello.
Joe Morello, yeah, he also lost his vision later on in his life. Joe Morello,
Right.
those who doesn't know, is the guy that is that plays the song "Take Five" in, you know, that everybody knows. Joe Morello, he also became blind late in his life.
You know, the way I see it, for white middle class people who got into jazz, a lot was through Dave Brubeck, Take Flight. You know,
Five, yeah,
people who got more interest to jazz after Take Five. It's really amazing how
yeah.
this works. The album Take Five.
The
And
album
I tell you, yeah.
is a Dave Brubeck quartet, jazz quartet, and the album is called Time Out. Take Five is in there. It was released in, I think, 1969. Take Five. 59. Yeah,
Yes.
1959. Thanks, Susan. Just correct.
Yeah.
Time
So,
Out.
but
Morello is the drummer of the Dave Brubeck quartet.
yeah, like Steve Wonder also played drums, right? Steve Wonder is a drummer. Oh, he can play anything.
You can play anything. It's a whole line of blind musicians, beginning with, Lenny Tristano and, George Shearing, Manfredo Fest, and Jose Feliciano. Bon, he was not in jazz. And also, this CD is released by Jazz Heads. It happens that Jazz Head also is in May is releasing a CD of another blind musician, Diane Shore. So
Oh,
we both are being released by Jazz Head now in May. So Diane Shore and me, we're on the same label.
that's a great label, Jazz Heads. Yes.
Yeah,
Uh,
I really thank them for that 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 believe me in my music and help me to put the album out. And it's already out in all the digital platforms such as Spotify, Apple Music, and I think YouTube and some few other. But it's going to be released in store if you want to get a physical copies, I believe now by
yeah, I have mine. Okay, and you can also check out Vanderlei Pereira website, www.vanderlei is always Vanderlei Pereira on.com. Right, Vanderlei?
That's correct. I have a very newly website. It's up and running, so people can check more information, get in touch, and you can find places where the CD is available for purchase. And I hope you all liked the album. I'm very happy.
That's great. Produced by Vanderlei Pereira and Susan Pereira.
Yeah.
So you are the executive producer, and you have those other people here. The record by is a Japanese studio that record your album.
Recorded by Yoshiaki Masuo. The name of this, what's the name of the studio? Kakinoki?
Kakinoki.
Kakinoki Studios in Pennsylvania.
Right. That's very interesting too, because sounds incredible. It's so, so like there's no sound that the metallic sound. Sometimes the studio recording seems so alive. The whole group.
Yeah, I was very lucky for have opportunity to take the band to the studio. We did the entire CD in 3 sections in 3 days. Um, it was also mixed by Tyler McDermott and mastered by Duff Harris.
Yeah, right.
Village Digital Hortêncio Gomes did some editing.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah. Let's give a shout out to Hortensio. A long time I don't see Hortensio Gomes. Yeah.
Liner note on the CD was written by Bobby Sanabria.
The great Bob Sanabria. Yes. And of course, with the help of Susan Pereira. And Susan also is in couple tracks here, right?
She's in pretty much all the 12 tracks. All
All the tracks.
the tracks.
Mhm.
She's singing, as I said in the beginning, it is wordless. There's no lyrics. I use her voice as an instrument. She's singing and playing percussion on a CD.
All right. So let's pick a track there. We have Susan right at playing most of the album. She's on, but I think it's on Ponta de Areia she's on, no?
No, I mean, she's singing on Ponto de Partida, one of is my
Oh,
composition.
Ponto de Partida, Point of Departure.
And she also sang in all the songs that you already played on the radio. She on Corrupião, she sang and played percussion, and she's cat singing on that too. Yeah,
The first time that I met Susan, she was playing percussion.
yes, she's an excellent percussion player in addition to piano playing and singer as well.
Yes, was 1980s in New York City.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, was a band called Manuel Batucada.
Batucada, Grupo Batucada.
Group Batucada, yes, was a great group. Yeah, Susan was part of this group. Yeah, I remember that.
The other thing about my CD, I'm very happy because for me it was very important that I have Brazilian musicians and also American musicians on the CD. It's a Brazilian jazz, and then basically I handpick the musicians who are strong in jazz and also strong in Brazilian music. So there are six musicians, 3 Brazilians and 3 American. Actually, there are 2 other Brazilian musicians, but the entire CD are sextet. So their names again is Jorge Continentino on horn and flute, Susan Pereira voice and percussion, Diana Witkowski on the piano, Paul Myers on the acoustic guitar, Gustavo Amarante on electric bass. In the other tracks, I have Itaiguara Brandão playing electric bass and Rodrigo Ursaya playing tenor. All of these guys, they did the live gigs. That's why this on a CD with the interactive playing, it's very real. It's exactly the way we play live. So we did not have. I chose not to have any special guests. I focus on a band sound.
That's great, Vanderlei. What about, I don't know too much about Zeca Freitas. You have a track, Alma Brasileira.
Ah,
Talk about Zeca Freitas.
Zeca Freitas, I had the pleasure of meeting him through the phone. I found that CD. Somebody gave me the chart. I can't remember. Maybe it was Rodrigo. And then I look up, and then that tune has been already recorded by Paulo Moura, alto sax. He did on his own album called something Urbanos. I forgot. But he also recorded the same tune and a duo record with Cliff Corman. But I like the tune and create my own arrangement for the CD. And Zeca Freitas, I sent him a version of the track. He was very happy with it. And So Zeca Freitas he lives in Bahia. He's an alto sax player who lives in Brazil. Great guy, great composer.
Augusto Ghiotto.
Let's talk about your own compositions.
My own compositions.
Yeah, let's choose a few of them to play now.
Yes.
And
I'd,
tell us about them.
I'd like to finish the composition, finish the show with a composition is the track number 11. It's called De Volta à Festa, back to the party. It is a frevo jazz. I intentionally decide to write a tune and have a little bit of jazz flavor, and it's a frevo. It's a tune where we all can jam. We kind of broke the rule a little bit and give the jazz flavor. And usually I finish my gigs with that tune. It's called De Volta à Festa. There's a great piano solos there done by Diana. Great tenor solos by Jorge Continentino. And there's some drum solo in there too. So I really like the way that song came out on the CD. De Volta à Festa, track 11.
Vanderlei Pereira, muito obrigado. Thank you very much for coming and talk to us here on WKCR FM New York. And all the best of luck to you. The release of the new CD, Vanderlei Pereira, Blindfold Test, and Visions for Rhythm. It is the album on Jazz Heads. Thank you to Vanderlei, and thank you to Susan Pereira also.
Yes.
For help us with this production.
Yeah. Thanks so much, Jassvan. Thanks so much for being your show, you and Augusto. And so I hope people's gonna go out and check my music and listen. You know, as I said, it's out on, digitally on Spotify and Apple Music. I think YouTube as well. But some of you who likes the real sound should get the CD, the physical CD, which is gonna be, you also can order to Amazon or straight from Jazz Heads. You know, go online and check the Jazz Heads websites and listen to the music. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.